us to end this once and for all? Because, Mr. Chair, I would like to ask the KOJC.
Like the question is the question that keeps on coming back, that binabaligtad na ba natin yung search muna bago arrest, or arrest muna bago magkakaroon ng lawful search? Parang binabaligtad na natin yung procedure.
Sir, we are implementing a warrant of arrest, sir. There is a command from the judge.
Implementing a warrant of arrest. And kung na-arresto nyo yung tao, you can conduct a lawful search. Hindi pa nga dapat sa vicinity, kundi on his person yung search.
The search incidental to a lawful arrest, sir, is a search for weapons and for the safety of the arresting officer. But right now, sir, we are not searching for any weapons. We are searching for the person to be arrested because we have reasonable ground to believe that he is in the KOJC compound.
And what is that reasonable ground to believe?
We have informants, we have surveillance, and may others, sir, that I will reveal to the Senate Committee on an executive session, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Continue.
So basically, sir, that's the last slide of my presentation, and we will leave you with our commitment. Next slide. We will not stop until we arrest the fugitives because this is our duty. And most importantly, we cannot and will not abandon the once voiceless victims of Apollo Kibuloy. Thank you, sir. And may God bless us all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, first, if we will follow the recommendation of General Torre, we are in fact legalizing the forcible eviction of thousands of residents just because he wants to serve his warrant of arrest, which he already turned into a license, and if not, more powerful than a search warrant. And if only lawyers will be there, Your Honor, that is a very unique example where the police would now dictate what law is. And as a matter of fact, in a search warrant, the only requirement is that two persons of sufficient age and discretion, which is required to accompany the search. That's the rules of court. Now, he wants it to be increased, that since he has an arrest warrant, then he is presuming now that an arrest warrant in terms of search has more power than a search warrant, which is again unfounded. Then he says to us that we have a commitment to not stop until we arrest the fugitives. We have already said our opinion that Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy is not yet a fugitive, Your Honor. And we already explained that in the last hearing, Your Honor. And if that is true, then I wonder if they also committed the same kind of resources, the same devotion, and the same, number of personnel which they used in the arrest of the top 10 most wanted persons which they listed, the terrorists, Your Honor. And in the search for Marwan, even the SAP 44, only 44 PNP were there. And here, and Marwan was even a known terrorist. Yet here, he is just an accused. And he even said, in order to help the victims of Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, he must have forgotten that his own warrant of arrest refers to only one complainant, Your Honor. One complainant. And he is presenting us a presentation where as if he painted a bad picture, a grotesque picture of Pastor Apollo C. Kibuloy, and clearly implying that he is a child molester and a women molester based on her own presentation. So we say, therefore, Your Honor, that enough is enough. Since he is only armed with an arrest warrant, and even up until now, he has just presented an arrest warrant. I was waiting that his lawyers would present to us also the rest of the warrants, Your Honor. We say that 14 days have already elapsed. And this so-called service of arrest warrant has been abused to the extent that so many persons have already been sidelined and their human rights have already been wantonly violated. Are we trying to say that just because they want to do their supposed duty, it would be okay to violate the rights of so many people because they want to serve this warrant of arrest? And if we will believe General Torre, he is now on a mission to conduct more diggings, not only in the SMNI studio, perhaps in the hangar, and God forbid, perhaps he will say later on that the heartbeat transferred in the kingdom, and then he will conduct his own digging again in the kingdom. That is the direction that General Torre is bringing us, Your Honor. A rape of the 1987 Constitution.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair,
Go ahead.
very briefly, I am appalled at the recommendation of the Regional Director of Regional Police Office number 11. Libo po yung tao na gusto niyang alisin sa sarili nilang pamamahay, matanda, nasa tamang gulang, bata, estudyante, na inosente. Ayaw niya, hindi na niya pag-aaralin kung atin pong susundan yung kanya pong panukala. Naalisin ang lahat ng tao para nang sa ganon unhampered yung kanilang gagawing search or arrest. Palagay ko, Mr. Chairman, this is already going beyond the commerce of man. Whatever the recommendation is. Thank you, sir.
I agree. I agree.
Mr. Chair, may I speak?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. I am speaking for JMCFI. Sir, he has already searched the JMC building several times over. More than 40 times already is my understanding. When will he stop so that the kids can go back to school? Now, with respect to the alleged retaining wall that he found underneath, why has he not gotten a search warrant as you have already said? I would also like to point out some points that he stated in his video. One, when he was showing all the videos of the women, that was already police women searching the quarters in the Bible study. That was already day 9, the 9th day. Previous to that, mga lalaki po nagsa-search. But we were wondering kasi babae na ang pina-search niya doon. And then after that, 6 o'clock natapos yung search. So we were expecting the women to leave, the police women to leave. And yet the police women stayed there until 8 p.m. What were they doing from 6 to 8 p.m.? So when you saw Pastor Marlon Acobo shouting at them, it was because they had stayed there for 2 hours already without doing anything, disturbing seriously the women who were staying there. So perhaps that video of Pastor Marlon Acobo shouting at them was taken after the 2-hour period, just precisely to show this PR stunt. Second, the case regarding the Children's Joy Foundation, which has no bearing to the case here in Davao City and to the warrant of arrest against Pastor Apollo Kibuloy, that case in Hawaii was dismissed. Okay? Third, with respect to the K9, the third search of the K9 proved negative. Perhaps what he was showing you was the first video, but the third search proved negative. Fourth, the woman that he was showing crying in the video in front of the policeman is not a minor. What she was doing was trying to protect the grounds because they were trying to enter sacred grounds, and that is why she was crying out of emotion. I believe, Your Honor, that the PowerPoint submitted by General Torre is trial by publicity. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Can I answer, sir?
Go ahead.
Just on the last statement of the good attorney, that this presentation is trial by publicity. If you want a fair trial, please ask Apollo Kibuloy to surrender. Thank you, sir.